with killing a man with a crossbow. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Pat Masters. One day after agreeing to be sent to Massachusetts, a Woonsocket man faces murder charges for allegedly shooting another man with a crossbow after a traffic dispute. Channel 12's Logan Crawford is live at District Court in Attleboro with the latest. And Logan, where the arraignment is taking place there right now?
That's right, Pat. It's taking place as we speak right here at District Court in Attleboro. Donald Graham is charged with murder. His wife is charged as an accessory to murder after the fact. She's a free woman, at least for the time being. She has been released on personal recognizance. Donald Graham, well, it's his turn right now to face the music after he allegedly killed a man. A deadly confrontation on I-95. 2 nights ago, police say this unlikely suspect, a 54-year-old church deacon, took out an unusual weapon, a crossbow, something like this one, and fired an arrow into the chest of an ambulance technician. 42-year-old Michael Blogett died at UMass Medical Center hours later. Now Donald Graham of Woonsocket is being arraigned on a murder charge, but his son claims he was only defending himself.
They got out of the car, and one of them allegedly had a flashlight. And my father, from what I understand, kept telling him back off, because he kept approaching him, and my father was backing up, and the guy finally shot him.
Now, a very sad fact about this case is that the victim, Michael Blogett, lived with his elderly, handicapped mother, and right now, that woman is getting by on her own. Pat?
Logan, now that Mrs. Graham is out on bail, were you able to talk to her at all?
I was not. Her lawyers have told her not to speak to the press right now. I did speak to her sons once again. Her son Stephen tells me that this whole thing is a nightmare for the family. They're trying to get it behind them. They view it as a tragic accident, not murder. Obviously, other people feel differently about that.
All right. Thank you very much, Logan.
Arraigned for the Crossbow murder of an EMT. Graham, who lives in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, waived extradition to Massachusetts yesterday. He's charged with killing 42-year-old Michael Blogett with a crossbow following a traffic dispute on Interstate 95 on Sunday night. One of Graham's sons claims that his father grabbed the crossbow because he was scared and that it fired accidentally.
Heard before Judge John Dolan here at Attleboro District Court should happen any time now. Yesterday, the suspect told reporters this is the worst thing he's ever done. As state police led Donald Graham into the courthouse here in Attleboro this morning, he told me he didn't want to talk about the incident. Police sources say Graham has showed very little remorse, but did point out which of 5 crossbows taken from his home was used in the alleged murder Sunday night. Prosecutors claim Graham shot 42-year-old Michael Blogett in the chest with an arrow from a crossbow he had stored in the trunk of his car. Blogett's brother is grief-stricken.
It's just so dumb. I just can't understand why something like that would happen.
Seems like an awful waste.
It is an awful waste. Mike's helped a lot of people in his life.
Prosecutors say Blogett and Graham got into an argument because Blogett had been flashing his high beams at another car. Sources say the arrow was still in Blogett's chest as a friend drove him to the hospital. Police sources say the friend, who, like Blogett, was an EMT working for Brewster Ambulance in Boston, did not directly witness the shooting, but was at the scene at the time of the attack. Blogett leaves 2 sons, including a baby, only 6 months old.
We're deeply saddened by this. We don't understand it. Even though we deal with the results of violence all the time in our professions, none of us can understand it.
Well, police say Graham's wife was in the car at the time of the attack. She has been released now, though she still faces criminal charges of being an accessory after the fact of murder. 7 News is live in Attleboro. I'm Jonathan Hall. Back to you now.
Okay, thanks, John. We'll have more.
Now, 7 Healthcast.
Friends in court.
Turning down
A Rhode Island church deacon is charged with killing a Massachusetts motorist with a crossbow. Good evening. Topping 7 News. Accused murderer Donald Graham says he feared for his wife's safety. Prosecutors say he's a cold-blooded killer.
Graham was in court today to face murder charges. Police say he used a crossbow to kill a young Attleboro man on a busy highway. 7 News reporter Jonathan Hall has the story.
All right, baby.
A burst of emotion today as friends of a slain emergency medical technician leave his alleged killer's arraignment.
Justice is going to be done. That man's going to be put away where he belongs. What would you like to say to Mr. Graham right now?
Like I like to say, how'd he feel if somebody killed part of his family, his loved ones? How would he like it?
Mr. Graham, what can you tell us about this incident?
Nothing right now.
Donald Graham of Woonsocket, Rhode Island, says he shot 42-year-old Michael Blogett in the chest with an arrow by mistake. His lawyers say Blogett and another off-duty EMT advanced on him in a threatening way during a traffic dispute Sunday night.
The bow was initially taken out in a self-defensive posture, but then, unfortunately, it accidentally discharged. So it's a combination of an accident that occurred as an individual was attempting to defend himself.
The lawyers say Graham kept the crossbow down by his side, and it just went off as Blogett advanced within striking distance with a flashlight. Graham's lawyers say the EMTs instigated this confrontation, first by throwing a bag of trash and ice at Graham's car, then by slowing to a crawl. Blogett's friends say he's never done anything except help people.
Except I hope the guy don't get off. I mean, Mike would never do it. Mike wasn't that way.
How can you be an impatient driver and drive an ambulance? You can't be. An ambulance driver has to have patience to get their patient into the hospital on time without any other damages.
Prosecutors describe Graham as a man who appointed himself a guardian of the highways and kept a crossbow and arrows with expanding tips in his trunk ever since he heard of a woman being stabbed in a highway altercation. They say Graham is a cold-blooded killer.
He got out of the car, he unlocked the trunk, he loaded the bow, he placed the arrow in the bow, all planning activity, Your Honor. And he shot this man, Your Honor.
The highway guardian is now being guarded himself in handcuffs behind steel bars. In Attleboro, Jonathan Hall, 7 News.
Graham is due back in court tomorrow. He wants the judge to lower his $50,000 cash bail, but prosecutors want Graham to undergo psychiatric tests.
Now look at...
Very emotional day for friends of Michael Blogett. He's the victim of a crossbow killing that took place on Route 95 in Attleboro over the weekend. We'll tell you what happened inside the courtroom today and outside as well. And Rhode Island...
Eyewitness News tonight. What a scene at an Attleboro court as a man faces charges for a crossbow killing. We'll show you what happened. Killed another man with a crossbow, causing an explosive scene outside court.
What I feel? Everybody know what I feel? Justice has got to be done. Then he is going to be put away where he belongs.
Good evening. I'm Walter Cryan.
And I'm Karen Adams. Screams filled the hallways of Attleboro District Court today where a Woonsocket man faced charges he murdered a motorist with a crossbow. The cries of anger came from friends and relatives of the victim, all after hearing defense attorneys describe the killing as an accident. Channel 12's Logan Crawford was there.
Get away with it. Get away! Leave! She's going through hell now! Get out of her face!
The mother of Michael Blodgett's girlfriend is trying to protect her daughter. She has been through enough after the shooting death Sunday night of the 42-year-old emergency medical technician, impaled with an arrow from a crossbow allegedly fired by this man, Donald Graham of Woonsocket.
He shot the victim, the driver.
Graham supposedly saw Blodgett harassing another driver, allegedly tailgating the car and flashing his lights. Graham officials say he did the same thing to Blodgett. It continued for up to 5 miles. Finally, the two pulled over. The prosecutor says the 54-year-old then took out his crossbow and murdered Blodgett. Graham's attorney says his client was simply trying to protect himself when the weapon accidentally went off.
How far do you have to retreat when somebody continues to walk at you? When somebody continues to walk at you in a threatening manner when it's dark out. And there were 2 men here, 2 men much younger than him.
Words like these infuriated Blodgett's friends.
You know what I feel? Everybody know what I feel? Justice has got to be done. That man's got to be put away where he belongs.
Now, both the victim and the suspect in this case are portrayed by family members and friends as men of peace. The victim, an EMT who took helping others very seriously. And the suspect, a religious man and a hard worker, a former automotive worker at the plant in Framingham.
Well, now, where is Graham tonight?
Right now, he's in jail. He's being held on $50,000 bail. His attorneys say they'll appeal that bail tomorrow morning in Superior Court. His wife, charged as an accessory in the crime, is out on personal recognizance.
This is quite...
Charged with the crossbow killing of a Massachusetts motorist. 54-year-old Donald Graham pleaded not guilty at his arraignment today. He is accused of attacking 42-year-old Michael Blogett of Attleboro. Police say that Graham shot Blodgett in the chest with a crossbow during a fight on Route 95 Sunday night. Graham's attorney says it was all a big mistake. Blodgett's friends are outraged.
Justice ain't gonna be done. That man's gonna be put away where he belongs.
What would you like to say to Mr. Graham right now?
Like I like to say, how's he feel if somebody killed part of his family, his loved one? How would he like it?
It's a combination of an accident that occurred as an individual was attempting to defend himself.
Graham is due back in court tomorrow for a bail reduction hearing. His wife faces accessory and assault charges. She was with him in the car when Blodgett was shot.
Emotions boiled over at the courthouse in Attleboro. Family and friends of Michael Blogett came to a hearing for the man accused of killing him, 54-year-old Donald Graham. A prosecutor says Graham killed Blogett with a crossbow similar to this one after a traffic dispute on Route 95 Sunday night. What would you like to say to Mr. Graham?
I can't say it on air.
I'm sorry you can't say it on the air?
That's right.
While you were sitting there in the courtroom looking at Mr. Graham there, what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking, you know what I feel? Everybody know what I feel? Justice ain't gonna be done. That man's gonna be put away where he belongs.
What would you like to say to Mr. Graham right now?
Like I like to say, how's he feel if somebody killed part of his family, his loved one? How would he like it?
Donald Graham is a deacon here at this Baptist church in Woonsocket. The minister here says he's a man with a temper who feels strongly about injustice, about people's rights that aren't respected. Graham's lawyer claims Graham felt threatened when Blodgett and his buddy walked toward Graham after both cars pulled over on Route 95.
You have two men walking down on you at night, not knowing what their intentions are. Of course his life was in danger.
I know him, and Michael is not a violent man. I don't care what anybody says.
A deadly shooting on a highway, and now conflicting versions of why. Sean Daly, 6 News, Attleboro.
And Donald Graham will be back in court again tomorrow, arguing that $500,000 bail is too high.
Come on, stop. Come on, I don't want to see you try. Come on, baby.
These are friends of Michael Blogett. He's the victim of that crossbow killing on Route 95. They were overcome with emotion after the arraignment of Donald Graham, who is charged with murder in the case. Today, Graham pleaded innocent, and his bail was set at $500,000. Graham's wife, Sandra, faces charges of being an accessory after the fact. She was released on personal recognizance last night. Donald Graham allegedly shot Blodgett in the chest with a crossbow after the two were involved in a traffic dispute on the highway over the weekend.
Another car.